What if? What if you could go from being broke and depressed, living at your parents' house and having nothing going for you, to moving to a new state and pursuing your dreams of being on set as an actor?
Just casually here next to the main street. You know, just filming a movie with the military convoy. Pretty cool.
Well, that's what happened to me by asking myself, what if? Two words that hold the potential to change everything. Or nothing at all. You see, it's not so much the question that matters, but more so your response to the question. I know this sounds a bit confusing, but stick with me for a second.
A couple years ago, my life took an unexpected turn thanks to my brother Oscar for convincing me to leave everything behind and move to Texas. I wasn't entirely sure where this decision would take me, but I decided to take that leap of faith. At first, it started with making short form content for Instagram and TikTok, to then making longer form content, which we posted on YouTube.
I get you.
Then appearing in a crime documentary series as an FBI agent and a SWAT team member that's supposed to come out on Apple TV, to then even landing a background movie role alongside Brandon Routh. Guys, no big deal or anything, but he only played the lead role in the 2006 Superman Returns.
Is everyone all right?
Yeah, he was Superman, guys. Freaking Superman. And fast forward to today, I've been filming for a very popular fitness brand called Alphalete, and now being on the personal media team for the owner of that brand and one of the biggest names in this generation's fitness industry, Christian Guzman. All that to say, I've been creating some of the best memories of my entire life, and although I don't have everything I've ever wanted right now, I know I'm on the right path to that chapter of my life where I do have everything I want. My life wasn't always that great and fulfilling though.
My days used to feel so repetitive and depressing and dark. For those of you that don't know me, I spent 3 years in prison. Look, it was all my fault. There's really nobody else to blame but myself. I'm the one that decided to apply for a job as a prison guard.
Yes, I was a correctional officer for 3 years. And in that time, I saw some of the most craziest things that nobody in their entire life should be seeing. I saw weapons, I saw fights, I saw drugs, I saw a guy get stabbed in the face so many times that his face looked like ground beef. Sorry for the details, but I also saw a cell phone that was the size of my thumb. We called those finger phones, and I'm pretty sure you could guess where one of those finger phones have been at some point or another. During the training academy, before becoming an officer, we learned plenty of techniques on how to perform our job to the best of our ability. There was one technique in particular that stood out from the rest, and we called it the what if game. It was a mental exercise designed to prepare us for the most unexpected challenges.
The way I was taught to play the what if game was a commanding officer would give us a scenario. For example, he'd say, what if you were locked in a red field with 300 inmates that are fighting and you have the only set of keys and the only gate is across a sea of inmates. The inmates are not currently attacking you, but the longer you stay in there, the higher the chance they come after you too.
Sounds like a crazy situation to be in, right? And although I wasn't in that exact scenario, I did find myself in a very similar situation, all because I accidentally hit an inmate in the back of the head with a rock. But I'll save that story for another time.
So at that point, your commanding officer would have you give an answer based off of everything you've learned in the academy so far. What would you do in that scenario as an officer? My point is, there's a decision that needs to be made. You can either sit there, do nothing, and eventually get trapped inside, or you can do your best using what you know and try to find yourself a way to get to that gate so that you can set yourself free. Even as an officer, being in that prison environment was so hard on my mental health. There were so many times that I just wanted to quit. I was so close to quitting, but I didn't have any backup plans. I can't imagine what the inmates felt like, especially being there for years and years, sometimes for life. Many of you could probably relate, but we need money to survive, and that was my job. You know, I couldn't just get up and leave. But then one summer, my brother Oscar offered me a lifeline, a chance to start fresh in Houston, Texas to pursue our dreams of video creation. He gave me a phone call and he said, "Hey, I think if we go crazy stupid hard on making videos, we can eventually get you paid and you can leave your job." I told him I'd get back to him because first I had to get my time off approved. So I did what any depressed man would do when given the chance to change his life. I did nothing. I was depressed. Can you blame me? I did have the intention of getting that time off approved, but after talking to my sergeant, he told me that the only way to get that much time approved off was going through the warden. And I knew it was a whole process, so I just never followed through with it.
Weeks went by and summer was coming to an end, and I got a call from my brother. And I was so tempted not to answer because I knew he would ask me why I wasn't doing anything about this life-changing opportunity. So I answered the phone and I told him that I was in the middle of this super long and difficult process just to get my time off approved.
He told me on the phone that he could smell the bullshit coming out of my mouth. Or maybe he was using a finger phone and didn't clean it properly. He said that if it was up to him, he would have had me there 2 weeks ago at the start of summer. At this point, I realized that I was wasting way too much time. Summer was coming to an end, but so was my opportunity to change my life. You see, this whole time I've been playing the what if game in a prison environment, but I never thought to play that game in my actual life outside of prison. So during this super long phone call with my brother, I decided to ask myself, what if? This time, instead of imagining myself escaping a field full of angry inmates, I imagined myself escaping my current reality and how different my life would be in a new city with new people, pursuing my dreams of making videos and making people laugh. I finally felt like there was light at the end of the tunnel. I came back to reality and asked, how sure are you that this is going to turn out the way you think it is? We sat there in a moment of silence. He didn't answer me because he knew that taking risks doesn't always guarantee a good outcome, but I knew that at that time, the biggest risk of all was doing nothing. This conversation took place on a Saturday afternoon, and by that following Monday, I'd gone to work, went to my bosses and told them I was done.
Who's the man?
And they were all just so bummed out that I was leaving, and honestly, I was bummed out too because we had built such a beautiful bond in such an ugly place. But they all wished me well, and I'll never forget their support.
Look, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people that are doing way better than me. And even though I'm not where I want to be yet, I know I'm on the right path. Today, I'm still navigating life's twists and turns, striving to achieve my dreams. And it's been so hard living a life that I want to live, but it was also hard living a life I didn't want to live. I've learned that the power of what if lies in its ability to push us out of our comfort zones and to a brighter future. So I'll leave you with one question. What if? What if you took that leap of faith? What if you pursued your passions? What if you chased your dreams? Look, the choice is yours, but just remember that that one question, that single question, what if, has the potential to change everything or change absolutely nothing.